Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you guys about my journey so far with hypothalamic amenorrhea. I've had some questions recently about my diagnosis, how I knew something was wrong, what caused me to go get checked out, and my journey so far. And I wanted to just share that with you guys. Working out, I didn't have many issues that held me back. I felt great. I was doing some Beachbody videos at home. After work, I was going to CrossFit. And sometimes I would even go on a run. I never let that stop me, as far as having multiple things to keep me busy with. I always felt, accomplished because I could do so much. And every day I just felt like, I can do whatever I feel like doing, pretty much unstoppable. I wanted to, of course, get to my best physique, my strongest. So I decided to hire a coach to help me prepare for a competition. We started prep. I got all of my macros, I got my workout and everything like that, and I started to follow that. Shortly after I started, I noticed that my body was not reacting the way that it usually is, as far as the response from my brain communication to my actual body performing. And so I knew there was a lack there. I thought, maybe it's just because I'm lacking sleep and I've been more stressed out lately, and I'm also, minimizing the amount of food that I'm consuming. So I just thought it was kind of a combination of that, which didn't have too many alarms. But as it progressed and the weeks went on, I noticed that I was gaining weight. The scale was going up when I should have been losing weight. And I just felt, all of the stress and my, tiredness and everything just kept getting, more and more of a heavier weight put on you. When I was researching online, I noticed some women were having some hormone issues and mood swings and stuff like that. And a lot of them were claiming that it was due to their birth control that they had been on for a year, year and a half, 2 years. And a lot of the similarities made me think, maybe that's what's going on. Because I was on birth control for quite a long time, and that prevented me from getting my period, which I thought was normal because that was mentioned as one of the side effects of that particular birth control and how you utilize it. So it didn't really cause many alarms until now. So I decided to get off the birth control, but noticing weeks after and up to 2 months that my moods and depression and anxiety got significantly worse. It got to the point where I felt completely numb. Like my brain did not have any thoughts going through. I didn't have any emotions. I would watch stuff that would typically make me sad or mad, and I would have no response. I'd have no mood swings, and I would be online trying to look for stuff to make me happy or smile, and nothing worked. Nothing did it. And I knew this definitely wasn't me, because if you know my personality, I am usually quite bubbly sometimes, and I at least like to joke around and laugh. And, I do have my times where I go through little depression spurts and anxiety stuff. But for the most part, I try to act like I am happy. Sometimes that's harder than others, but I knew that something was seriously wrong. And I decided to call my doctor and try to get in early. She couldn't get me in, but she, requested I just kind of keep touch with her. Like when I went into her office at the end of the year, she came in and she goes, you don't even have to say anything. I just know by your presence and looking at you that something is seriously wrong. She's like, when you come into my office, usually you just have this kind of vibe, that things are going good, that you're happy, and you're not your normal self. And she's like, we definitely need to figure out what's going on. And so we discussed, all of my signs that I've been having. Pretty girl, say hi. Say hi. Yes. Prince, my booger. I love her. And then when my doctor said, you know, we have to run some tests and everything like that, I was like, yeah, let's definitely do this. I need some answers. And a part of me was really, really anxious. I was scared. I hoped that I wouldn't come out, you know, they would think that I was crazy or that something wasn't wrong or they wouldn't have any type of answers, or, you know, the test wouldn't pick anything up. And I was very, very nervous about that. So we did some blood tests, and come to find out, my levels were extremely, extremely low, below even a male's level, which is pretty crazy. And, you know, we weren't sure if those were accurate or right. So like a week later, I came back in, we did some more testing, and still very, very low. And that was even after she gave me 10 days of testosterone pills, just trying to see how my body would react to those, and no changes at all. So with her conclusion, you know, she thought that, you know, the brain was not communicating to my body the way that it should be. Just to make sure that things weren't completely wrong, I had to wait a few weeks to get in for an ultrasound so they could check my lining in my uterus. I came back in, my lining was so thin, it was almost non-existent in my uterus. Basically, she said that if I ever wanted to have kids, I, you know, had to build that back up. So I have to have regular periods. So it was heartbreaking to me to find out that my body was at that point. But it was a relief to find out that, you know, there's hope for me to have children. Yes, it's a long journey ahead because I have to reverse everything that potentially may have caused this. It could just be due to the way that my body is. It could also be from prolonged period of stress put on the body. And that includes, you know, lack of sleep, stressors like caffeine and different things like that. Excessive exercising, excessive dieting, all of those different variables play a part. And when you have that amount of stress put on your body for a really, really long period of time, your body potentially shuts down because it will turn off the thing that it feels it can live without as, you know, a defense mechanism. There is hope, and that's what I've been working on the past year. Sleeping more, exercising less, eating more, trying to minimize the amount of stress that I have just on a day-to-day basis and get my periods back, which last year I actually had 6 periods. So that is quite awesome because some people, even with the changes that they try to make, sometimes they don't see any response for a while. You know, she was quoting me, you know, it could be a year, it could be a year and a half, it could be 2 years, it could be 4 to 5 years before I get my body back to the way that it was before. But it does take effort and patience and time. Last two, patience and time, I'm not very good with. No. It's been very, very hard. And some days it's really, really rough because I can feel like the miscommunication between my brain and my body can tell that your body is off. And sometimes, you know, my mood, especially, like lately, I just have not been feeling like myself at all. Again, you just get really, really down. You have no motivation. You feel like everything's like hopeless. You just get really depressed, and I have anxiety and I feel, you know, lost. And it's like, I put all this effort in to see like no results. And it's so hard because it's the complete opposite of everything that you've learned in society when it comes to fitness and weight loss. Rather than cutting your calories and doing more cardio and all of that, it's that complete opposite. And telling your mind, you know, by eating more and sleeping more and working out less, this is going to help you. This is going to get you to where you want to go is, you know, very, very hard to accept and to trust. That's, you know, it's so questionable. Like, really? Like, what if I gain 50 more pounds? But if you start to diet and, you know, continue down the path that got you here, it's not going to get you to where you want to be, which is the reverse. It's just kind of a mental game. It's a struggle. I'm not always myself anymore. And it's hard for me because I like to be bubbly and happy and cheery. It's tough to pull yourself out of that funk when you just have to let it kind of run its course. So I'm on my medication. I tried to get off my medication there for a little bit because I didn't want that to rule my life. I didn't want to be addicted to it or feel like my body had to depend on it. But past few weeks, I just slowly have been getting like not myself at all. Now I've accepted, you know, I have to take my medicine right now. Basically testing to see, you know, how my body responds every month with my periods, with the amount of work that I've been doing at the gym and exercising. So I try to sit down and relax when I'm not at the gym as much as I can, or when I'm not playing volleyball, because I've been going harder at the gym and I don't want everything to impact me or prevent me from getting my period. Just kind of take it, you know, slow. And I've been watching that. And if I don't get my period, or if it's, you know, very, very light, that's a sign to me that I need to let up the next few weeks. And that's one struggle as well, because you don't always know right away, you know, is this working or is this not working? And by the time you find out that it's not working, you have a few weeks where your body will unwind from what you've already done. It definitely is tough. If you know that something's wrong in your body, you know, you just have to sense it. I know my recovery time is not the greatest, but I can tell by the time I walk out the gym and get in my car and get home, whether or not I'm going to be wicked sore the next few days, or if I'm just going to be super tired. You know, you can tell in your body. Or fatigue and tiredness feels like the whole entire world is like bogging down on me. And no matter how much sleep I get, or no matter how long I lay on that couch, I don't ever feel energized for the most part. You know, it takes me multiple days or sometimes even a week to rest up again. So I might have to take a week off from the gym, or you know, just go to the gym and just relax and have a couple more rest days that week. And that can be hard, especially for a fitness person who relies on the gym. Get rid of your stress and, you know, get life off of your mind for a bit. It can be hard. And I love to go to the gym and just go crazy and, you know, just put in my all, because I love it. It fuels me. You know, so it's definitely a shift. There's hope. You know, I can still have children. At this point in time, we forecast that I still should be able to have children someday, even if I need the help of injections or something like that. But the possibility is still there. And that's kind of what I focus my mind on is, you know, I can still have kids. It's not worth risking that, you know, losing that forever. Going about it the right way, a way that's sustainable. And yeah, this chapter is extremely hard, probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to face and work through in my whole entire life. Know that at some point I will come out on the other side, whenever that might be. Having a family in the future is my priority. And I just kind of, you know, remind myself that on those really, really tough days, you know, that it's still possible. I haven't lost that. And, you know, it can't be this way forever. If anybody else is out there suffering, know that you are not alone. We're definitely here behind the scenes, going through, you know, similar things. And there is hope even on, you know, what seems like the worst days of your life. Have to hang in there. And I hope that you don't ever give up, because this world needs you. So anyway, thank you so much for joining. If this helped you in some way, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you are suffering through anything similar to me, so I know that I'm not alone. We're here in this together and we're gonna make it. So thanks again. I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye guys.